So, in the last class, we've seen that how we can find out the S curve, the unit hydrograph of different duration, right? That means, suppose dr duration is given, and we need to find out tr duration of unit hydrograph, and how we can do that. There will be two methods basically. That is, one will be the method of superposition, and another will be to finding out the S curve, and then we can find out the unit hydrograph for a particular case. Right. Now, why we need two cases? Actually, two cases may be there. That is, maybe TR duration, which we need to find out TR duration. That may be an integer multiple of dr duration. Suppose in the first case, what we have seen that what was the example in the last case? What was the example? 6 hour unit hydrograph data were given, right? 6 hour unit hydrograph data were given, and we need to find out the 12-hour unit hydrograph, right? Okay? So in that particular case, the D is equals to 12, right? And T was equals to, sorry, D was equals to 6 and T was equals to 12. 6 hour unit hydrograph were given, and 12-hour unit hydrograph we need to find out. In this case, you can see, Aste, in this case, you can see that 12 is obviously an integer multiple of 6, right? So for those cases where integer multiples are there, we can go for the method of superposition, which we have already learned, and that example was in CA3 as well, right? And many of you had struggled with that. I don't know why, as because in the last class itself I have discussed, and it was easy, right? It was easy as because you need to write down all the coordinates of unit hydrograph for 6 hours, all the unit hydrograph 6 hours unit hydrograph coordinates you need to write. Then you need to write again 6 hour unit hydrograph lagged by 6 hours. Then you will start from the 6th hour. Then you will find out all the ordinates. Just sum it up, find out the 12-hour unit hydrograph. But in this case, the total precipitation or the ER, that is excessive rainfall, was equals to 2 centimeter. Then you have to divide with the 2 centimeter. Then you will get the values, right? That was the easy one. That is the method of superposition. But if T is not an integer multiple of D, suppose you need to find out, suppose 4-hour unit hydrograph is given, and you need to find out 6-hour unit hydrograph, right? Is it integer multiple? No, right? A fractional multiple is there. Fractional multiple is there. So for those cases, you cannot go for that one, simply as because you cannot lag the particular thing by, but 4-hour unit hydrograph you cannot lag by 6 hours. Those value will not be given like that, right? So you cannot go for that. For those cases where fractional multiples will be there, we need to go for S-curve method, right? But this S-curve method is valid as well for the integer multiple. That means the last case, that is 6 and 12, we can go for the S-curve as well. So S-curve method is valid for both the cases, but method of superposition is not valid. It is valid for only one case, that is if it is integer multiple, right? If T is integer multiple. Okay. So this This data we have seen already. This was the example what we have discussed. This was the graph for that. Now we will look for this one that is called S-curve method. Now, this S-curve method, you can say by the definition, you can say like this one, that if a rainfall is happening, suppose continuously, and it is having a fixed intensity, right? So, if the intensity of a rainfall is 1 by d centimeter per hour, and it is happening continuously, then the graph you will get at the discharge point, that will be called the S-curve. Right? So if a rainfall intensity 1 by d centimeter per hour occurs continuously over a catchment, the resulting DRH, the resulting direct runoff hydrograph, will be the S-curve. The meaning is clear? What was unit hydrograph? What was unit hydrograph? এক কান বন্ধ আছে, একটু জোরে বলবে। Discharge per unit time. In other conditions are there. What are the other conditions? Yes. So unit hydrograph is one sort of direct runoff hydrograph which is having 1 centimeter of rainfall depth, you can say excess rainfall depth. ER, depth of ER is equals to 1 centimeter. That was the, so basically unit hydrograph is also direct runoff hydrograph for a particular case. Suppose you are having one unit hydrograph of 2 hour, unit hydrograph of 2 hours, right? So D is equals to 2. The effect somehow it may be up to 10 hours, right? The effect may stay from the for the 10 hours, right? As because we have seen for this case, as for the last case, you can see, right? In this case, 6 hour unit hydrograph was there, but the effect was up to 72 hours, right? The discharge was up to 72 hours. Okay? So this is called the base time, right? Base time, that means up to which it will affect the stream flow, right? So the precipitation was 6 hours duration, but the discharge will be obviously higher than that somehow. Suppose we are having 2 hours unit hydrograph like this one, which will have the effect up to 10 hours, right? Now, suppose we are having 2 hours of unit hydrograph, then again we are having 2 hours of unit hydrograph. So this is 2 hours, this D is again 2 hours, and continuously we are having that same precipitation. Continuously we are having the same precipitation. Then what will happen? Obviously, after 2 hours, another S-curve unit hydrograph will be there after 2 hours. So continuously we will get some sort of hydrograph and so on, right? So on, right? So each of the curve is unit hydrograph for 2 hours of effective rainfall. Clear? And this definition says S-curve is the direct runoff hydrograph of a continuous precipitation of 1 by d centimeter per hour intensity rainfall, right? What is the intensity of this rainfall? What is the intensity of this particular rainfall or excess rainfall? 1 by d, 1 by d, right? 1 by d, where d was equals to 2, but at this intensity will be equals to 1 by d, right? It's because 1 centimeter of precipitation is happening 2 hours. So per hour 1 by d precipitation is occurring, right? So intensity is 1 by d. So we can consider this case and this case same, right? As because each and every hour we are having d 1 by d centimeter per hour intensity of rainfall continuously happening. Definition says the same thing. Definition is saying that a scarp is the direct runoff hydrograph of continuous rainfall of 1 by d intensity. ठीक तो? Right? So we will get this sort of unit hydrograph. Now, if you add up those all ordinates, obviously, if you add up all the ordinates, you will get the total direct runoff hydrograph for the total precipitation, like the previous one. Yes or not? In the previous one as well, we have added the sequence like this one. 6 hour unit hydrograph ordinates lagged by 6 hour unit hydrograph ordinates. We have added all the values. Then what we are getting? We are getting the direct runoff hydrograph for 12 hours. Direct runoff hydrograph for 12 hours. Right? Suppose imagine the same case, not stopping in the 12 hours, it is continuously happening. So what you will do? 6 hours of precipitation unit hydrograph, then again 6 hours of unit hydrograph lagged by 6 hours, then again 6 hours of unit hydrograph lagged by 6 hours, then again, and so on and so on and so on, right? That means you will get this sort of hydrograph, right? Now if you add up all the ordinates, you will get the direct runoff hydrograph for those sort of precipitation which is continuous. Now if you add up the values, you will get this sort of curve which will look like this one. It will increase, go on increasing, and after a certain time it will be fixed. The value will be fixed. If you add up all the ordinates of all the curve, the value will be fixed. This sort of graph will be called the S curve. Right? Now, if you are having t is not an integer multiple of d, then first of all you need to find out S curve, then you can find out the unit hydrograph for t. How? Let us look at that first of all.
This is clear, right? This is clear. This is clear, right? So 1 centimeter of precipitation for d hours, you will get all the unit hydrographs. Adding all the ordinates, you will get one S curve. How? Let us look at it. This is one example, suppose. This is one example of ordinate of unit hydrograph. Then how we are finding out the S curve. Suppose DH unit hydrograph ordinates are given like this one, and this is the time interval. The time interval, right? G0, G2, D3D, 4D, and so on. G hours of unit hydrograph in meter cube per second or whatever. These ordinates are 0, y1, y2, y3, y4, and so on. Obviously, to find out the S curve, make it continuous specification, and for that we need to find out another DH unit hydrograph lagged by DRs, right? So we will have now no values over there, 0, right? Then y1, y2, y3, y4 and so on. Similarly, we will have 2D lag, 3D lag, 4D lag and continuous, right? Now add up all the ordinates. Add up all the ordinates. What we will get? 0, y1, y1 plus y2, y1, y2, y3, y1, y2, y3, y4, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5. Then y1, y2, y3, y4, y5. Then 0. That means summation will be the same. Next, if you go beyond that, you will have y5, y4, y3, y2, and as because it is continuous, you will get 1 y1 as well, right? So the summation you can see is now continuous, is fixed, constant, right? So it is increasing somewhat like this one, and after a certain time it is fixed or constant. Clear? Now we have to find out this A star. First of all, then what? Then you have to find out another A star. First of all, you have to find out one A star. Then you have to find out another A star, which will be lagged by TRs, and because our main work is to find out TR's unit hydrograph from GR's unit hydrograph, right? This is our job. Right? So to do so, first of all we need to find out one S star, which is given. The GR's unit hydrograph is given, from that we can find out. Then we have to find out another S star lagged by TR's, as because we need to find out the TR's unit hydrograph. Then we have to find out this one. Then we have to subtract the values of S1, subtract the values of S2 from S1. Subtract the value S2 from S1. Then we have to divide with, we have to multiply with D by T, right? This one, right? Is it the same example? 0, 15, 45, 89. 0, 15, 45, 89. Same example, right? Same example is this. What was the example? Example says that unit hydrograph of 6 hours is given, all the ordinates are given. You need to find out 12-hour unit hydrograph ordinates. Method of superposition याद है? Remember that? The values you can see, you can write down the values. If it is not written, you can write down all the values. Please write down the values. The steps was like this. Time intervals are given. Ordinates of GR unit hydrograph are given. You need to find out 6 hours unit hydrograph lagged by 6 hours. Then you have to add up all the ordinates. Then you have to divide with 2, as because 2 centimeter precipitation is there. Right? So that was the funda. Just write down these unit hydrograph ordinates for 12 hours duration. by this method, they are getting the same values 1 1. Right. Now, what we have to do, we have to first of all find out the A star. Two sorts of A star we need to find out. A star 1 and A star 2. A star 2 will be lagged by T hours. In our case, T hours is equals to 12 hours. So we will make it lag by 12 hours. Right. So time are given in this manner. Unit hydrograph coordinates are given in this manner. Now A star we need to find out coordinates of A star. How we can find out A star coordinate? How we can find out A star coordinate? Let us take three data, right? Let us take three data. 2 hours unit hydrograph are given 0, 2, 4. These are the time or time interval 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. So in 0 that is 0 suppose, in 2 it is 3, in 4 it is 5, in 6 it is again 3 and in 8 it is 0. Now try to find out the A star for this case. Try to find out the A star for this case. If these are the ordinates of 2 hours unit hydrograph, try to find out the A star coordinate for this. If the method was clear, then you can easily find out. By this. What? It is 2 hour unit hydrograph. Next, in next column, what we should do? In next column, what we should do? 2 hours unit hydrograph. Lag by 2 hours. 2 hours unit hydrograph. Lag by 2 hours. What will be the values? What will be the values? In 0 this will be 0. No values will be there. In 2, 0. In 4, 3. Then continuously. So again 2 hours unit hydrograph lag by 4 hours. Lag by 4 hours. So in first case we will get no values, 0, 3, 5, 3, 0. simply you will get you need not to do it continuous anymore, as because we will get the fixed values like 5 plus 3 will be 8, and again 5 plus 3 will be 8, and that will be continuous. So you need not to plot any other lag values. You are getting, even you are getting from there, right? 5 plus 3 is equals to 8, again 5 plus 3 is equals to 8, it is oh no, 5 plus 3 is equals to 8, 5 plus 3 plus 3 is equals to 5 plus 3 plus 3 11 সেটা হবে, সেটাতে কন্টিনিউয়াস 11 এ কন্টিনিউয়াস continuous for the lag. If it is not being constant, you need to make it continuous, right? If it is not being constant, then you have to make it continuous, like 2 hours lagged by 8 hours. So this will be no value, 0, 3, 5, 3, 0. Now we will get 0, 3 plus 5 is equals to 8, 3 plus 5 plus 3 is equals to 11, 3 plus 5 plus 3 is equals to 11, and so on. And because two continuous values or fixed values is coming, so all the other values will be 11. So this will be the A star for this sort of data. Got the idea? Now is it clear? Now is it clear? Yes or no? You can say no as well. Yes, no? If these values are coming, then you need not to continue it, or other than that you have to make it continuous and find out the values up to which it is coming a constant value, right? Clear na? So this is how we can find out the ordinate of A star. This is the procedure, but this is the simple procedure what actually is given in this example. This is the a simpler procedure. What they are doing to find out the A star, what you have to do? You have to simply write down 0. Then 0 plus 15 is equals to 15. 15 plus 45 is equals to 16, and so on. Let us find out the same thing in this manner. Are we getting the same value or not? So 0 plus 3 is equals to 3. 3 plus 5 is equals to 5 plus 8 equals to 8. 11 plus 0 is equals to 11, and so on. So we are getting the same value by the same manner. The simplest one, right? Simplest one, whatever you can say. But one condition. There is one condition. This procedure you can follow only when, if these intervals, if these are delta t, these intervals is equals to t, that is the duration of unit hydrograph. So these intervals are 6 hours, duration is equals to 6 hours. So these are equal. Only in that particular case you can go for this method. In that case also delta t and t was same. That is why we are getting the same value. Other than that you cannot find by the same value. Right? Clear है? If that is not equal, then there is also a similar thing is there. But we will consider in the next class. First of all, let us solve this example. So this is the simplest value, that is 0 plus 15, 15 plus 45, 60. 60 and so on, and after a certain time it will be fixed. The fixed value is 699, right? Then what we have to do, this is the A star coordinate or the S1, A star coordinate for the S1. Two A stars we need to draw. First A star is this one, S1, right? Next A star we need to draw, that is lagged by T hours. Lagged by T hours, that means after 12 hours that will start. So the ordinates will be same. The ordinates will be same, only the lag will be 12 hours. So this will start from 12 hours. The ordinate values will be similar. Same, obviously. A star the same. So that will lag by only 12 hours. Then what we have to find out? We have to find out the subtracted value. Subtracting this S2 value from this S1. So we are subtracting the ordinates of S2 from S1. So what we are getting? 0, 15, 0. Then subtraction will start from this part. So all the subtraction, after all the subtraction, after a certain time, obviously 699 and 699, those values will be equal. So this will be equal to 0. And after all the values below this point will be equal to 0. Right? Subtraction value below this point will be equal to 0 as because both the card is having same ordinate, that is 699. Clear now? So we are getting the subtracted value like this one. Okay? Now we have to find out the unit hydrograph, 12 hour unit hydrograph coordinate. Simply multiplying d by t with this value. Simply multiplying d by t with this value. Now in our case, what is the value of t? 12. Right? What is the value of d? 6. So multiplying half, that is divided with half. Right? Multiplying half with divided by 2. Sorry. Multiplying half, that is divided by 2. We can get this value. Now, are those value and the previous one example values are same? Same? Revision ready? Revision? Huh? A star is what? A star is the direct run of hydrograph of a continuous precipitation of intensity 1 by d. What is d? D is the duration of unit hydrograph which is actually given to you. Right? So one thing will be given to you and with respect to that you can find out the A star. Right? So finding out the A star is very easy. That is simply plot all the coordinates according to the time. Okay? Lag the various coordinates with various time period, add all the values until and unless it is being constant. So if it is constant, you will get the A star coordinates, right? And after finding out the A star coordinate, to find out the unit hydrograph coordinates for a particular case, you need to find out two A star. One is the simplest one, that is the starting from that will start from the 0. And second will lag by t hours, where t is the time period or time duration which actually we need to we are trying to find out, right? So for this particular case, you can see S1 and S2 we are finding out. Then what we have to do, we have to subtract the ordinates of S2 from S1. Then we have to multiply the ordinates with d by t, where d is the duration which is given to you and t is the duration what you are actually trying to find out. Clear? Now, some example, how many times you have taken our iteration? 4 times, maybe, right? 4 times. Why 4 times? If you need to see what was the value? 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 3, 5, 3, and 0. Right? This sort of number. So you need to see the base time, right? You need to see the base time. Suppose the base time is TB, right? Now the iteration number, how many times you have to iterate it? That will be TB divided by the duration. TB divided by the duration. This TB was is equals to 8 and duration was equals to 2. So 4 times you have to iterate it. Then you will get the constant value. Simple one, huh? Simply you see this one. How many values are there? Why 5, right? So 5, at least 5 column you need to see, right? Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, Y5. Then it will become constant. Only after then it will become constant. So basically this you can get this iteration number by simply dividing them. Right? This is a guideline. Any other question regarding this one? No question? Second example is there. That is, suppose 6 are Indian hydrograph ordinates are given and you need to find out that was easy, na? This one easy. Why? As because 6 hours unit hydrograph are given, 12 hour unit hydrograph you need to find out, and that can be done by both the method. Right? Method of superposition we have already done. So what is the speciality of this method? What is the speciality? The speciality is this one. Right? If the 6 hour unit hydrographs are given and you need to find out 3 hour unit hydrograph, where this is not integer multiple. Right? As because here T is 0.5 of T. Right? T is 0.5 of T. So this is not integer. So what in this case what we can? The method will be same. But the tricky part here, as because you can see this is given 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 52. The tricky part here is these intervals are given in D. So this is D, this is 2D, this is 3D, D is equals to 6, right? So intervals are given in terms of D. But whenever you are trying to find out, yeah, what is it? Whenever you are trying to find out the 3 hours unit hydrograph, obviously the intervals cannot be 6, 18 and so on. So interval should be 3, right? To find out these values, 9, 5, 15, that will be somehow tricky, right? So তাহলে আমরা পরের দিন ডিসকাস করব আর আমরা নেক্সট চ্যাপ্টারে যাব এই চ্যাপ্টারটা এই একটু দেখে কোনো প্রবলেম হবে